inquiring minds want to know, that kind of thing, right?
Ooh.
That looks good, doesn't it?
So good. They feel good.
They do. Yeah.
Oh man, and that looks great.
Oh, that was way fast.
Yeah.
That was, and those were all on, were those all on target? Okay. Everybody knows the best Beretta gunsmith in the nation, Big Ern, Ernest Langdon of Langdon Tactical. We're here at his facility just outside of Phoenix, Arizona. Hey everyone, James Reeves, TFBTV, here at Beretta Mecca in the United States, Langdon Tactical with the man himself, Big Ern, as I call him, Ernest Langdon. This is a guy who knows Beretta shotguns inside and out. No one better to have on the program to talk about the differences between the A300 and the 1301 than Mr. Langdon himself, one of the most respected living gunsmiths. You guys will not stop bothering me in the comments, which is fair, about the 1301, the A300, the differences between the two, which one is better. So it made a lot of sense to have Mr. Langdon himself explain the differences between these two guns, and you can decide which one's right for you. Ernest, shall we?
Sure, absolutely.
The Beretta 1301, I would say, best shotgun, I think, that's out there, semi-automatic shotgun. The A300 Patrol, now street price around 900 bucks. Furniture's the same. You've got the great ergos, same great ergos. You've got the bolt release, which to me is just absolutely tits on these guns. There are some differences, though.
To start with is the actual operating system itself. I mean, they're both gas-operated shotguns, but the 1301 is a rotating bolt. It has a blink operating system. It is going to cycle way faster than the A300, and then you know this, it's going to be way softer shooting. I mean, it's noticeably softer shooting. And when I tell people, if you're shooting a gun and you can tell that it's softer, it's a lot softer. I'm
with my buddy Ben. He's a product manager at Beretta, and he had a lot to do with the A300.
When we were developing the A300, the 1301 was our benchmark. We think it's the best one on the market, so we were trying to pull as much as we could. But the core platforms are obviously very different. The 1301's got a more advanced barrel. It's got the Stelium barrel with the enlarged forcing cone. A300 is very much old school Beretta with the classic mobile choke profile. That barrel's been around since the 60s. It is proven all over the world for killing birds.
What about the furniture between the two? Because I kind of heard like the scuttlebutt was I could just take the A300 handguard and put it on the 1301, but that's not exactly true.
That's not exactly true. So the recoil system being up front in the 1301 has a different set of constraints than the A300 with its operating rod. So to get around that, the handguards are a little bit different, and the mounting profile on the front of the receiver is a little different. On the stock side, any stock that fits on an A300 will fit on a 1301. The opposite is not necessarily true. With the recoil system up front on this gun, you can remove the rear stock bolt and put on stuff like this Magpul stock. A300 does not allow for that. And then for optics, it's the same exact profile. So anything on there will work on here, anything here will work there.
What about the gas systems? They look pretty much identical to me.
The gas systems are identical. When you get behind the gas piston, so the op rod, the action bars, the bolt head, all that, that's where the difference is. So the lockup on the 1301 with those two lugs and all the chrome on chrome is a little bit smoother, whereas again the more classic with a standard finish on the A300 is takes a little bit more energy to operate.
So we do a side-by-side, back-to-back comparison from the A300 Patrol and the 1301 LTT Tactical. So I'm gonna just shoot 2 through this one, just bird shot, nothing crazy. And then Bill's gonna hand me, we'll switch out and I'll shoot the other gun, shoot 2 and see what kind of comparison we got. So here we go. I mean, there's definitely a difference. Is it like massive, oh my God, complete, you know, no.
We have Matt Haught, one of the most respected shotgun instructors in the game. Right now, you've got the Beretta 1301. After you do a mag dump with that, I will hand you the A300. All right, switcheroo. Could you tell any difference between the two?
Not a whole lot. I think the A300's got a slightly lower bolt velocity, doesn't cycle as fast, so to me it's a little less jumpy, but it's not terribly noticeable.
A300 first, $900 budget, 1301. Here we go. And now the 1301. Yeah, that's a difference.
Yeah.
There is a difference. It's not huge, but there is a difference.
Huge. It's not night and day, but you can definitely feel the difference.
That's weird.
Yep. Stand by.
So you didn't hit all those.
Oh yeah, you had a couple flyer.
Had a couple.
158.
158?
A couple faster splits there. Shooter ready. Stand by.
Oh, that was way faster.
Yeah.
That was, and those were all on, were those all on target?
All on target.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 133.
Oh,
You
Christ.
crushed.
Why is that? How does it work? I mean, you know, you see a lot of marketing jargon out there. Beretta's really good at marketing, and I don't say that in a mean way. They have some really sleek marketing, but it's like, oh, the blink system, you know, like what does that do for me versus the operating system in the A300?
It's how fast the gun unlocks and cycles and gets back into battery. And the other thing is the way the recoil spring system is set up in this one. This recoil spring on this one is set up over the actual magazine tube, whereas the A300, the recoil spring is there's actually a guide rod that comes off the back of the bolt and goes into a rod that goes in the back. So putting the Magpul stock, for example, on the back of this is a no-go. You're just not gonna
Can't do it.
do it, right? So that is the big issue. The other thing, and kind of on the heels of that, the rotating bolt is a much more durable system too. If you're going to shoot a ton of ammunition through the gun, this is going to be a more durable system. It's an evolved system, right? This is this is a higher end version of the gun. There's nothing wrong with this gun per se. It's a great gun. It's a durable gun. The system is a very proven system. It's not going to be as versatile.
The A300 will be reliable with everything that matters.
Right.
So when we're talking slugs, when we're talking buckshot, when we're talking defensive loads, all day, all night. When you get to the extreme margins, super low profile or super low velocity birdshot, you might have a 1 or 2% better reliability rate on a 1301.
Now you can really start to see the difference between the bolt, whereas this one, so it operates and locks itself in place. So when it goes into battery and the
Locked.
it pops up and then hits into the receiver extension right here. Right? Then you go forward and it locks into the receiver extension, and that's how the bolt locks into place and handles the pressure. But this is the op rod is, I believe it's like that, yeah. So it's a one leg op rod, right? And this comes back and drives the bolt to the rear. This is your guide rod, if you will, that goes back into the receiver and pushes the recoil spring. And then the 1301 is a little bit different. You got a teeny punch, small one. I'm gonna knock the firing pin retaining pin out. The bolt. Now you've got a large, heavy, rotating, bolt with twin lugs that goes into, obviously goes up into the barrel. And then rotates. So you've got a very robust locking system.
Yeah, and another thing we forgot to mention is this is all chrome lined, the chamber, the bolt, and they obviously, that the expense just you know.
Well, there's a lot
tremendous.
of expense right there.
Yeah, exactly.
This Stelium barrel. So one of the things that makes a big difference in recoil impulse is the forcing cone on the shotgun.
Yeah, sure.
So the forcing cone on here, where it
Right. Yeah.
collapses everything
Right.
down, is significantly longer on the 1301 than it is on the A300. And again, I don't want to. For the value, this is a tremendous shotgun.
Sure.
I mean, they did amazing work. This fore-end, I mean, it's not as sexy looking, but it does what it does extremely well. I mean, the putting the M-locks in the right places, having good texture on it, not having, you know, too much stuff where it doesn't need to be. They did a great job with the shotgun, but when you shoot them side by side, I can guarantee you everybody's going to go, oh yeah, 1301.
Yeah, sure. And there's a $500 price difference between the two, though.
You're paying for an evolution in technology is what it is at the bottom line. The other thing I will say about the 1301 is that it is going to be more reliable with a broader range of ammunition. If you're just shooting your tactical loads through here, this is just going to be your home defense gun, you're going to load it up and sit it in the corner, it's going to be perfectly fine. If you want to be able to shoot whatever, you know, bird shot you get from Walmart and, you know, dirty ammunition and all that other kind of stuff, this gun's going to handle that a little bit better than this gun. And it's a difficult question to answer because people want to hear, well, because of ABC, right? And I've mentioned some of those, this is way better. But when you're spending that extra money, you're getting, it's not just because a new or whatever.
Or Italian.
Yeah, or Italian or whatever. So great guns. They're both great shotguns. If you're just, I need a shotgun because, you know, I should have one and I want to have, because for home defense, it's great. There's no reason. If you're a serious shotgun guy and you want the best,
The 1301's where it's at.
Yeah.
And then coming from you, I mean, that is a massive endorsement. Coming from me, not as much. You know, I'm not. I can barely take these things apart. Why would the 1301 be more versatile than the A300 with different rounds? Like you have
the gas system. It's a much improved gas system that has evolved with Beretta over the years. So this is lots of experimentation and technology that's got into this gas system. The rotating bolt system, the way this works, allows it to be more flexible, allows it to bleed off excess gas from higher pressure rounds, okay, and still cycle lower pressure rounds. This system is not as versatile from that standpoint.
I
If
see.
the ports are not right on this one, it's going to be too much gas, work the gun too hard, or typically what we see, not enough gas, and it doesn't want to cycle the gun full.
Right, and that is actually, as we know, a pretty common thing with semi-automatic shotguns. Is if you run buck, most of them will run buck just fine, slugs just fine, but when you start tooling around with birdshot, that's when you're not getting enough oomph to really get the system to operate. But then if you take it down to where it'll be more reliable with birdshot, then you're going to have a gun that actually kind of sucks to shoot. Like,
Sucks to shoot, and it's going to beat the gun up when you start shooting buckshot or high brass 3-inch shells and things of that nature.
Right, but this is a little bit more of an adaptive system.
Yep. So from a reliability standpoint, super difficult to beat this.
But then dollar for dollar, I think it is also really tough because you're talking about a gun that costs 2/3 as much. As this one. So the A300 really tough to beat too.
And from a tactical shotgun standpoint, super feature-rich shotgun.
Yeah.
I mean, they've opened up the mag port. They've got a nice fore-end on here. They've got great sights on the gun. I mean, for the dollar value, this thing's ready to go. Load that thing up, stick it in the corner, you're in business.
And while we're on that, let's not downplay the A300 too much because there are some features that the A300 has. I went over in my comparison video, but I'd love to talk with you about them, that the A300 has that the 1301 doesn't.
Yeah, tell me what, I bet I know what some of them are. Let's hear it.
Well, no, I mean, I want to hear from you. Everybody's heard from me, but I mean, to me, the loading port is just absolutely tits.
It is far superior. I can't argue against it. They did a tremendous job, and they consulted with some really sharp guys. The Haught's, for example, Rob and Matt Haught, shotgun. Steve Fisher, I think, had some input on this. Serious shotgun guys. And what they did was this was one of the big things that they wanted. And I think might have been some European shotguns and guys in here too, but the loading port, the job they did on the loading port here, I mean, I can only hope that they eventually do that.
Oh, I hope so, because to me, that is the one thing where I am like, damn it. You know, like I really, really wish that this was on the 1301. Of course, the furniture, I think that comes with the A300 is phenomenal. And you have the ability right out of the box to mount a light.
Yep,
and,
you can light them. A light, you know, and they've got it, you know, 3, 6, and 9, which is the right locations for it. I mean, obviously you're not going to put anything at 12 o'clock on there. It has the quick disconnect sling swivel in the front, so that's easy. They did a tremendous job, and I think this is important, of having the fore-end flush with the receiver. And so certain types of loading techniques, that is key. For
Like if you're a quad loader, yeah.
Especially quad loading.
Right.
From a tactical standpoint, nobody's quad loading.
No, which I don't even know how to do it. I've never.
I know how to do it. I've done
I don't even know how to do it. Yeah, it looks cool. The charging handle on there.
Charging handle on there is just as good, if not better, than the one on here. It's a little bit more low profile. I think it is ideal. It does everything. You're not going to be operating that thing a lot.
Hopefully.
So if you're shooting 3-gun and you've got to constantly be picking the gun up and loading it, that's one thing, but it's probably not going to be operated a ton. So I think that is and this is just straight off of one of their more high-end field guns, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Their rear sight that they're using on here is actually a lower profile than the one that comes on the 1301. So it does everything it needs to do without being bigger, heavier, clunkier, and all that. And they also did add a fiber optic front sight on the A300 that the 1301 does not come with. So as you mentioned, the A300 has a couple of features. It was like, you know, you guys could have whatever, but you know, we'll see what the future brings with that. Now, obviously, once we get a hold of it, we change a lot of that stuff already, and most people are ended up running on a tactical shotgun, running a red dot.
For me, that gun's more than enough. Don't get me wrong, I'm not selling my 1301.
Right.
I love my 1301, but I was very happy to pick up one of those for myself.
This is going to be perfectly suitable for 99.999%.
Yeah.
I don't want to wear out my welcome. I've only been here for a couple of hours. And thank you, by the way, for inviting us and our viewers in to see the new shop here. What's in the future for Langdon Tactical and the A300?
So I think something will happen there. I mean, we're playing with it.
Be more vague, Ernest.
Well, here's the thing. We've got a value shotgun that is at a good price point, right? So if we start throwing a bunch of stuff at it, next thing you know, it costs as much as a 1301.
No, it makes sense.
So just buy a 1301.
Right, sure.
So you got to be careful. So we'll probably be some things that we can do there to bring this, level it up a little bit. For someone that wants to spend a little bit more, but they don't want to jump all the way into a 1301 price tag, we'll be looking at those kind of things. Sure.
Okay, very exciting. And I'm sure everyone from TFBTV will be looking at what you do, because you're probably the best in the game, Ernest, and it is an honor.
I don't know if that's true.
No. I mean, look, you know, I mean, this new space here, you know, all these guys you got working for you that know their shit. Yeah. That's a testament to your ability. So thank you again for having us, guys. Stay tuned. We're bringing you more from LTT. Big Kesha girl over there.
What is this?